She whispered, "I'm in love with someone else." So I walked out without saying a word. There wasn't a dramatic fight. No screaming match. No shattered glass or slammed doors. Just a quiet dinner at a quiet restaurant. And one sentence that ended everything. "My name is Daniel Matthews," and I knew my marriage was over the second my wife, Claire, looked across the table and said in a voice barely above a whisper, "I'm in love with someone else." Just like that, something in me shut down. I didn't ask who. I didn't ask why. I didn't ask for time to talk things through. I simply signaled the waiter, paid the bill, and walked out of the restaurant. I didn't even glance back. That was the night I stopped pretending there was anything left to fight for. But let me take you back, because what led to that night wasn't sudden. It was slow. Almost invisible. Like a slow leak in a tire. You don't notice it until the car won't move. Claire and I had been together for nearly a decade. We met when I was 28, working in logistics for an agricultural tech company, stable, level-headed, saving for my first property. She was 26, passionate, creative, and filled with ambition. From the beginning, she talked about launching her own wellness brand. Skincare, herbal supplements, aromatherapy, all sourced sustainably and marketed with a clean, modern identity. She had a full plan, a 5-year vision, a name picked out, and mood boards on her phone. What she didn't have was funding. One night after dinner, she broke down crying on the couch. Told me how frustrating it was. Pitching her business to investors, applying for grants, getting turned down repeatedly. I didn't have any magic solution, but I listened. And then I did something I'd never done for anyone else. I dipped into my personal savings and handed her $50,000. She cried harder. She told me no one had ever believed in her like that. Not even her own parents. She said I changed her life. That she'd never forget it. Looking back now, I wish I had asked her for a written agreement. But I wasn't thinking about ROI or legal protection. I was in love. I thought I was building something with the woman I'd spend the rest of my life with. Claire did everything right, at least on the surface. She registered the business, hired a small team, and started creating content and rolling out products. I watched her go from late-night brainstorms to signing distribution contracts. It was incredible. I was proud of her. I genuinely believed we were a team. When her company finally started gaining traction, we got married. I thought we had it all. A shared vision, mutual respect, and love that felt unshakable. But that illusion didn't last. As her brand gained popularity, she changed. First, I chalked it up to stress. Success takes sacrifice, right? Late nights, back-to-back meetings, brand deals, influencer campaigns. It was all part of the hustle. But soon her wardrobe changed. Her conversations changed. Her inner circle changed. She started hosting dinner parties I wasn't invited to. Talking about people I didn't know. Attending networking events that ran suspiciously late. I tried to stay supportive. I cooked, cleaned. I held back every insecurity and fear clawing at the inside of my chest. I didn't want to seem jealous or controlling. I just wanted her to look at me the way she used to. But she never did. We drifted. By year 4 of our marriage, I realized we were just coexisting. 2 bodies under the same roof. Occasionally exchanging words about the electricity bill or her Amazon returns. The turning point came on a random Thursday. I had left work early. Nothing dramatic, I just felt off. When I got home, I entered quietly through the side gate. I didn't call out. I just moved through the house. I found Claire on the back patio, laughing on the phone. It was the way she laughed that stopped me. Flirtatious. Intimate. Not the way you talk to a client or coworker. She didn't know I was there until I stepped into view. The way she jumped and quickly hung up the call was all I needed to see. I didn't explode. I didn't accuse her of anything. I just asked, "Who were you talking to?" She got defensive. Said I was spying. Said I was acting paranoid. I didn't argue. I didn't need to. The guilt was written all over her face. From that moment, our house became a ghost town. No warmth. No touch. Just quiet hallways and 2 people who couldn't stand being in the same room for more than 10 minutes. Still, I didn't leave. Instead, I asked her to have dinner with me. I picked the restaurant where we had one of our first real dates. I hoped it would remind her of who we used to be. When we got there, she barely looked up from her phone. I tried to talk. I asked how she was, how work was going. She answered like she was reciting lines in a play she didn't audition for. So, finally I told her I missed her. I told her I knew we'd been drifting, but I still believed we could find our way back. She looked up slowly, her phone finally still. And then she said it. I didn't know how to tell you this, but I'm in love with someone else. I didn't ask who. I didn't cry. I just nodded, paid the bill, and walked out. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, thinking about all the years I gave, all the patience I offered, all the signs I ignored. I didn't feel heartbroken. Felt hollow. By morning my path was clear. Claire moved out. I didn't ask where she went. I didn't need to. I contacted my lawyer. Told him I wanted a divorce and that I also wanted my $50,000 investment returned with interest. I explained that it was no longer personal. It was business. If she could walk away from me without a backward glance, I could walk away from her without a second thought. A few days after the legal papers were sent out, I got a call from an unknown number. It was him. The man Claire left me for. He introduced himself, then asked, very politely, that I reconsider withdrawing my investment. He said the business would collapse without it. I told him one thing. If you ever call this number again, you'll see a side of me neither of you are ready for. And I meant it. I blocked the number. In the months that followed, the divorce dragged through court. But I had leverage. We had no kids. She had moved out voluntarily. And most importantly, I had proof of my investment. Eventually I got back every penny. Plus interest. I didn't do it out of pettiness. I did it to reclaim my power. When people ask if I miss her, the honest answer is no. The woman I loved disappeared long before that dinner. What remained was a stranger with my last name. And I let her go. Quietly, finally, and forever. Thanks for watching. If you've ever stayed in something too long hoping it would fix itself, you're not alone. But sometimes the strongest thing you can do is simply walk away.